Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special Reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest that I had on in the past. I bring them right back on. Why? Because I couldn't get enough the first time. So today's guest is Marcy Rogers, who is President and CEO over at SpineMark. Marcy, welcome back to the show.
Adam, it's my pleasure. It's great to talk to you again.
Oh man, so you have some disruption going. I love it. You got a couple new things to announce that you have coming out. I'm not going to spoiler it. I want to start off with we have a lot of new listeners. Podcast has been growing fast. I don't want to assume everyone caught your first episode, so let's just start off with the basics. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over at SpineMark.
Yes, happy to do so, Adam. SpineMark is a evolution, not a revolution, of my commitment to being a patient advocate for people from all walks of life, children, adults, and basically back pain, as we all know, is a world epidemic, if you will, 1.8 billion people. So SpineMark is trying to build a network of sites that will deliver the best holistic, surgical, non-surgical resources for patients, children, and adults. And then attached to that network, under SpineMark CRO management, is a whole endeavor to bring clinical research activities and programs to our sites where we're doing care to always advance it and make sure that we're on cutting edge. And most importantly, to bring novel products, devices, and drugs to market. So that's our mission. That's where we're going. We've come quite a way since we talked last year. We're even working to open up the first rehab hospital in Kuwait. So there's lots to tell.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes, you stay busy. I love to hear it, and that's the kind of stuff I like on the show. So let's just get into some of the new things you're doing. So a lot of disruption. So 5 disruptive, game-changing new drugs. You have holistic creams and devices that you're commercializing. Tell us a little bit more about some of these projects, please.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the first one is really exciting for me. Well, they all are, but the first one is a company called Prebicus. And Prebicus is one of its biggest investors is a wonderful person named Brett Favre. And what we're doing under the leadership of Dr. Jake Van Lanningham, a brilliant neuroscientist, bioscientist, is commercializing the first ever drug to treat concussions in children and adults. As we know, concussions, and not just from football, any sports, any activity, cheerleading, track, you name it. But concussions right now in children are epidemic and increasing every day. So we want to be able to, instead of just putting them in a dark room without lights for several weeks, we're developing a drug that can be delivered right on the field, intranasally, and can reduce the symptoms and the duration of the concussion. It's getting ready to start its phase 1A and 1B. We've talked with the FDA on an accelerated clearance, and we've talked with the Department of Defense last month, as well as the White House, about the need for introducing it to the military and education and awareness so that people know that there is a resource that's going to be coming available soon. Secondarily, there is a cream, a botanical cream, we're releasing next month that actually can mitigate the impact of a concussion or a head injury. And you put it on either side of your neck. It's all natural ingredients, not FDA cleared, but we did do safety studies with children, no adverse events. And we also did animal studies showing how long it takes to get to the brain and basically how long it stays there. And so that's going to be released. We'll be selling it $39.99, but the greater good from all of this is that it's a layer of protection for children and adults who, play dodgeball, what they now call gaga ball, anything that could eventually produce a fall. That's what you want to prevent, and hitting the head. The third company has developed a device that you can put on after a patient may have a total knee replacement or a total hip, shoulder, cervical, or lumbar fusion. And it monitors, it's an interactive sensor device called Track Patch by Consensus Orthopedics in Sacramento that actually takes the whole postoperative period, and it can be monitored on a dashboard with the doctor and his nurse. We can detect any problems with temperature, which would suggest an infection, changes in the wound. It takes pictures. It prompts the patients on their protocols for rehab, children or adults. It collects outcome data that's accurate, and basically it also eliminates the need for going to the ER for any potential complications and others. It's just a real game changer for post-operative care and improved results for patients, which is what we're about. The next company has found 12 drugs that failed in the FDA because they were administered systemically through the body that could be reconstituted into a powder and delivered again intranasally, just like Prevacus. And the brilliant toxicologist behind that is actually the chief scientific officer for Prevacus, but he also commercialized already 27 drugs. So our first hit at it is going to be Parkinson's, and that'll take us 9 months, and then Alzheimer's, ALS, and other central nervous system diseases. And then the last two devices come from a company called Replication Medical, and those devices are a game changer. They're being used now in Mexico and in Europe. The only reason they're not here is because the FDA wanted $6 million to commercialize it, so they started selling abroad. But minimally invasive, 30 minutes in a surgery center to fix a torn or degenerative disc, and also have a spacer that can go in that will separate space so that there's disc height. So those 5 products are the first 5 up on our horizon, and that's what we're doing.
That's awesome. I don't know how you keep up with all this. So, what do you foresee? That's amazing. What do you foresee, for 2020? Like, what's the goal? New year, new decade. Tell us a little bit of some of the goals you have for SpineMark and for these new drugs, holistic creams, and devices you're releasing.
Well, my goal for really is to at least, I won't be able to complete all of Prevacus this first year, but if I get my 2.5-year, 3-year accelerated clearance from the FDA, and we've met with the chief scientific officer, we'll be halfway through, so that within 2.5 years we'll be on the market. And that will be an accomplishment because normally it takes 10 years, So my goal is to get Prevacus at least halfway through the phase 2, completing the phase 1A this year in 2020. For the cream, we will launch that. We're looking at a launch date next month, and it'll be available through internet sales. And then we'll have a team after that that'll have direct sales. So getting that up and going is a big, big coup. The third one, the N2B, our goal is to get that first Parkinson's drug done this year. And by that meaning developing the prototype, getting the studies, and then selling it to big pharma so that patients can have access to it as quickly as possible. For the Track Patch, the orthopedic device, that is already on the market. It's not being sold. We're working out the reimbursement. So my goal for that in the U.S. is to get that model solidified. We went and met with Medicare January 7th, and we're going back in February to get that commercialized so we can get it out in the market so that it's reimbursed to hospitals or surgery centers and to get it mainstream market. And then Replication Medical, my goal for that is to try and get $2.5 million in funding to get them through the FDA under a de novo kind of classification and get them on the market here within 12 to 24 months. So I got my work cut out for me.
Yes, you do. I love it. So, Marcy, if somebody is listening to this and they want more information on SpineMark or any of the projects you're working on, what's the best way for them to follow up?
Well, they can go to our website, www.spinemark.com, and you can send an inquiry from there, or you can contact me through my email. I always welcome people who want to reach out and talk to me or at least contact me. And so I am reachable through mrogers@spinemark.com. And our office line is 858-658-0044.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Marcy, it's been awesome catching up with you and learning about all the new projects you're working on and all the great work you're doing over at SpineMark again. So great stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, Money Matters Top Tips, then don't forget to subscribe to that too, and leave us some comments in the comment section. Love to know some of your plans and what you have going on for 2020. And Marcy, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam. Have a good day. Bye-bye.